What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are here for episode number 6. If you haven't seen the last episode, make sure you go and watch that video first. The link will be in the description below, as it always is, to each episode. Turbo improved whatever the last bit was, so that means that the turbo durability has come on the car in time for this weekend, and that was one of the parts that failed in the early episodes. So yeah, there we go. Improved materials was the last one I was looking at, and now with that we've upgraded or unlocked the MGUH. So that's another upgrade that we probably could consider in the very near future. I didn't think that we would be focusing as much on durability this year, because you know, after Azerbaijan I thought, nah, we're gonna have to focus on durability, and of course in the driver perks we can actually, you know, decrease the failure chance, or decrease the no, I can't even remember. I've been playing this game for how many weeks or months now, and I can't even remember. Engine wear. Nice one, genius. Decrease the engine wear by 10%, which means that we should be able to have a bit more freshness in our engine. So, and we don't even have enough resource points for the MGUH anyway. So, moving forward with this weekend now, I consider France to be a pretty strong track for the AI, so I reckon this weekend is going to be a good chance to showcase what our pace is like up against the AI this weekend.
We've got an issue we'd like your input on.
And as always, being the team boss, which means you have to attend these events. Driver meeting. The team have requested Lungard's presence as a recurring meeting, but can't conflicts with a couple of other items on the calendar. Okay, so if we agree to that means we request that Lungard or Christian attends the weekly meetings. But if we decline the request, Christian already has a hectic schedule. Probably that, because he could be spending a lot of time in the gym. He doesn't have much experience, so let's give him some experience.
The department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
You know, being the team boss, it's not easy to make these decisions, but you know, it is what it is. You make the decisions, you move on with it. Anyway, moving on for this weekend, we have the powertrain, or the 2 powertrain upgrades go on the car. So that's something that I'm happy now that they're on the car. No, especially because France is something that really drains the battery around this place. So I think with that upgrade on the car, the energy recovery system, which means that we should be able to use our battery a little bit more frequently now, and that's something that it could come useful come the end of or towards the back end of the race. You know, when others may have been using their ERS too much, and we've been saving on our ERS, which is something that I consider to do well at. Well, take out Canada in that scenario, but I think we are probably one of the best in the field at saving our ERS, because you know, we've been able to use it wisely and also be picking our battles wisely, which means that we didn't have to use as much ERS like some of the others maybe. But anyway, breeze through practice, good haul of resource points. Let's showcase what pace we've got in qualifying. It's go time now for qualify. Now, going into this session, I did make one small mistake. I only just realised this when we got into, or coming to the end of qualifying. But apparently, because I always lower the AI difficulty only by a couple of clicks for practice, I forgot to pop it back up again. So as you can see, we get P12. That was on our second run, and I thought, before I even knew at the time, I thought we were going to be safe and getting into Q2, and there we go. Yeah, right now we are into Q2, and Christian, he's nowhere. He's nearly a second off the pace. So I'm starting to get a little bit concerned whether he's used up all his cookies already. So This is the first few laps, or that was the first lap qualifying. That was on the older set of tyres. So now this is the lap where we went absolutely ballistic. It is happy hour here in France as we cheese the last corner. Through the last corner, probably don't use the curb at all because you won't only lose a lot of time with the car also hanging in the air. And this lap, where does this put us? It puts us P9. P9 in the French Grand Prix. So, we are into Q3 for the very first time. But, however, we didn't do a run in Q3 at all. So, we decided to save it. And because we're going to have the AI difficulty back up to 99, 100 or wherever I've been running, I've been thinking to myself, like, where on earth has this pace been coming from? So, I've decided to I'll be upping the AI difficulty back to 99 or 100, and maybe a bit higher for Austria, which will be the next episode. Going into this race, though, we've got some rain coming our way, and it's going to be for the entire race. Only light, so maybe a whole race on inters. I hope the setup that we have will suit us.
Welcome along then to France, host of the world-famous Tour de France. But we're not talking 2 wheels today, we're talking 4, in a country widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing back in the late 1800s. We've come a long way since then, and you're about to find out how far. It's time for the French Grand Prix. We have 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, 6 to the left and 9 to the right. The rain is coming down and making for a slippery racing surface, but luckily there is plenty of runoff available, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid bringing out a safety car during today's Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Norris, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly and Skip, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Stroll, Vettel, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
And do that we shall. Welcome to the race for the French Grand Prix. Looking at a one stop which will be nearly 13 and a half seconds faster. Wow. Okay. So I reckon we'll take that. I reckon we'll do a one stop today. I'm hoping that the others do 2 stops and maybe get a late race safety car. Maybe we can get ourselves into the game or something. But we shall wait and see how this race unfolds. 5 red lights in Paul Ricard, and we go for the French Grand Prix. Got to be careful, just like Monaco, to get these cars off the line, because we will easily lose so many spots. As I say that, we've just lost a couple of positions and we are getting mauled off the line. There's Vettel nearly getting both Alpines into turn 1, and we've got Stroll barging us. Oh no, it's Tsunoda, excuse me. Tsunoda barging us out of the way, and here comes Stroll up our inside, but I think we're going to try and hold it around the outside. It'll turn to the inside, and then we can dive bomb Tsunoda and Vettel, who we can barge into. I don't mind that, and we will have the inside right here. But Vettel may, he nearly, in fact he corner cuts. Man, could I learn how to speak English? And now we are ahead of Vettel and Tsunoda and Stroll. Now, getting these tyres into phase now. Now, I always say that my first stints I am never that quick. So, this is going to be a phase where we are going to have to try and push as much as we can. And, you know, with the setup we've got on, as you saw, we're running 811 wings on our car. It's usually a dry setup. And as I said, I don't know if I've said this, but oh my god, we have run wide there. And Tsunoda gets back past. So now, we've got a whole bunch of fast cars in front and behind us, so staying with these guys is not going to be an easy job. But as I said, I'm running 811 wings, almost similar to a Barcelona setup, but there are a few different tweaks in the setup. So I'm hoping that this setup will phase in with the wet, and I was hoping to dry up for the race to dry up, but apparently that was not the case according to the weather forecast. And look at that, lap 3, we're already 4.5 seconds behind, and it is growing at a fast rate or not. So maybe this setup isn't quite as good for this track. Now we're trying to stay in front of it. In fact, we broke very late, and he's hit our side, and he has spun round. Seb, mate, what was that? So we ran in too deep, and that's a tough one. I don't know who's blaming it. He almost looked like, well, we were all turning at the same spot, but I wouldn't have. My intention was not to take him out, so I'd say that's just a racing incident. I'm going to put it that way, racing incident. That one, turn 1 and 2. It's very easy to cut the cut. Oh, Christian, that's Christian, isn't it? Yes. What? Why are you going slow? Please tell me you don't have. Oh, he's got a puncher. Yeah, left front puncher. Oh, and that was like what, lap 5, something like that. And well, that set him back quite a way. Now Stroll got in front of us. I don't know how we did that, and that is our first track limits warning of the race. Bear in mind that turn, I was about to say turn 1 and 2 is quite an easy spot.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Well, light rain is here to stay, so it looks like we are going to be staying on inters for the entirety of the race, and we've still got 21 laps to go. Make it 19 this time by. I was quickly looking at the tyre gauge, and apparently the left front is already on 39%, and we're only on lap 9, so it would be in its 40s by now. So maybe a 2-stop was better. Maybe I could have pitted this lap and do a 2-stop, because doing 9-lap stints on 9-lap stints on inters, it would be the preferred way to go. Here's Ocon and one of the Alpha Tauris, I think it's Gasly, and they're both actually coming in at the same time. So it looks like they could be doing a 2-stop for in this race. And oh wow, 54 and 50 on the front tyres, and on lap 12, 50% after 11 laps or so. Oh, Christian's got a problem. What has happened here? Is there some... Yeah, there's smoke coming out of the back of his car. Oh man, he would be gutted. And seriously, our cars haven't had the luck at the start of this year, so... Oh, that's frustrating. We're going to have to really work on our cars. Now, Valtteri Bottas is out of the race. What is going on here? I mean, if Christian didn't bring out a VSC or a safety car, surely Bottas might. And where is he? Oh, he's parted in the middle of the apex. This will be... Safety car for sure. It is. Safety car is out. This is the perfect time for us to come in and pit for a new set of intermediate tyres. So this has worked out in our favour perfectly. So in we come. It'll be intermediate tyres to go on for this race. This safety car could not have come at the perfect time. So now, while we're under this safety car, we can look after these tyres during the safety car until we can go green. And then we might be able to utilise them around cars who may or may not come into the pit lane. So into our box we go, and why are we changing our wing? Why are we changing our wing? And bear in mind, I went back and had a look at this, and there was no damage on our wing. So boys, what are you doing? Are you trying to cost me a good result here? Anyway, lap 17 now. This safety car was out for quite some time. And only because of me trying to look after the tyres and catching the pack at the same time. But eventually we get to the end of lap 17, and we are going to go green flag racing again. Now my tyres, bear in mind, are going to be stone cold by the time we come out of the last turn. And Giovinazzi, what are you doing? Swerving as we go around the last turn, as we get green flag racing back underway. Look at that. Yeah, they're stone cold. So it's going to take us a lap or so to get them up to temperature. And Vettel is already having a look at our inside at 1 and 2. We're going to firmly shut that door. And we are going to try and bring these tyres up to temperature as quickly as we can by not losing too much time to Giovinazzi and the other cars in front of us. So now this is a very important phase for us. in the context of our race. And if you look at the leaderboard, a lot of people are pitting right now. So, oh man, maybe they are on a 2-star. Maybe, I reckon they could have gone an extra couple of laps or so. But now, all of a sudden, we're at P6. And maybe P5 if we can get Giovinazzi. Wow, this could turn out to be a good result. As it turns out. Same lap. Onto the back straight now. We are going to utilise or spam our overtake button. Well, almost. We're in the slipstream of Giovinazzi. Are we going to have a look into 8 and 9? We are going to force the move and we are up into P5. Wow. Stroll and Ricciardo in front, and looking at the minimap, it looks like a Merc and a Red Bull in front. It is Hamilton and Verstappen, and Stroll is in the pit lane, which means we are going to be in P4, and potentially the leaders potentially coming in for a 2-star, which means we could have a chance to win this race. But given that they pitted under the safety car, means that they could go to the end of the race on these current set of intermediate tyres. But those behind us, including Perez and Lando, will catch us in a matter of time. So lap 22, it was 4.5 seconds on the back straight. It's now 3.2, 3.1 seconds. This is the battle for the lead of the race. The gap looked a hell of a lot closer on the mini-map, but looking at this now, the gap has increased and it looks like things are stabilising between those 3 cars. So, back to our race. This pace has just come from nowhere. I feel like we were able to utilise a bit of the pace until Perez, who is right behind us, is going to overtake us for P4 in this race. But we brake late into 8 and 9 and we hold on for the time being. The more we squabble, the quicker Lando is going to come up behind, and maybe, just maybe, have a look at Perez, and those two can squabble while we can try and push away for P4. And I'm looking at the leaderboard, and looks like the top 3 aren't going to be pitting, which means we are fighting for P4 in this French Grand Prix. Perez, tries to go around the outside. He can't quite get it done. We shut the door. Every time we get a chance, we are going to shut the door on Perez, but we pressed our overtake button too late into the fast right-hander, into the spoon curve. We try to defend from Perez. He has the corner cut, and we run wide, and we are going to leave him some space, but he comes up and he hits us. Perez comes up and hits us, and Lando takes advantage. Now, I swear, I tried to leave him the space. Look, from my point of view, I definitely tried to leave him the space. Maybe I could have left a bit more. Maybe Perez could have tried to back out of it, and have a look at Lando. Wow! He just comes right past, and Perez gets back up the inside. Now later, Lando came in again to actually change his wing. I looked back, and he had to come in and change his wing, so maybe he lost a bit of his front wing while coming in that collision. I don't know, but probably cost him a points finish. Who knows? Anyway, this is the battle for the lead. Things have really stabilised between Max, Lewis and Danny, and those 3 are going to finish in the order that they are in now, and it's Verstappen who comes out on top and to extend his championship lead. But can we get back to our battle, please? Here we are now. Perez is all over us, and Charles Leclerc, who has come from nowhere. Perez gets up our inside, and he takes the spot. Does he? No. We shut the door again. Look at Leclerc. He might get us both here in a second, but he doesn't go around the outside. He goes around the outside of Perez almost, and it looks like as we exit the final turn, another points finish for us. Leclerc gets past Perez, and we are going to secure 4th place at the French Grand Prix. Wow.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
What a cracking finish, and what a strategy call, and deservingly driver of the day. What a race.
Another superb French Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
And so they should, and so should we. What an amazing race that was, to come from, what, just inside the top 10 and into 4th place. And Danny Rick finishing ahead of us, so it's an Australian 3 and 4 in that race. Nice day to be an Aussie in this race. I still can't believe we did it. Even me just going back and editing this video, I still can't believe that we somehow pulled it off in what was a very challenging race, and what perfect timing that safety car was, and but how long it took us to just catch up to the safety car. And Christian, well, our cars haven't been that good this year already, so and I did say that we were going to be focusing on durability a lot more than what I would have thought or what I would have wanted. So, but we do have some aero and chassis upgrades that I want to do, but in order to do more than one upgrade for those departments, as I keep saying, we're going to have to upgrade the fabrication facility in order to do that. So now I'm starting to wonder, what can we do? Like, is there something we could do in the team activities wise to, you know, earn the acclaim or the team acclaim? Who knows? But that's something that I'll have to do myself. But level 5 in the driver acclaim, it looks like we could be up to level 8 in the team acclaim. Are we? Yes, we are. And we're over a quarter there already. So, level 5 in driver acclaim. So, I think up to, what was it, level 10 in driver or team acclaim? I can't remember. Where we can add another secondary sponsor. So, the quicker we can get the team acclaim up, and the quicker we can do the fabrication upgrades, that means we could be on target to get some upgrades, more upgrades on the car more frequently, and make this car more competitive in the midfield. And that's sort of the goal I want to achieve. You know, be a competitive midfield team come the end of the year, and you know, have some good momentum going into season 2. But that's still ages away. We've still got a whole season in front of us. I don't know how many races are left. What, 14 races, 13 races or something? So we've got 6 down, and 6 down. We've got 14 to go. You know, it's unbelievable how we've managed to get to this point. But you know, doing the French GP and the Canadian weekends, I've been having audio issues, you know, coming through the headsets where the audio would just freeze, and also the screen freezing. Yeah, it annoyed the living crap out of me, but it didn't affect my driving side, and as you can see, a nice screen freeze right there. So amazing race overall, and an amazing result. If you had said that we were going to be scoring 16 points after 6 rounds, you would have been, you know what, I'm an idiot. You thought wrong. We have managed to do so. So, look, going forward now, we've got some upgrades that I would love on the car for Austria, including a drag reduction upgrade. That upgrade would be really handy for Austria, given that the first 3 straights are all DRS zones and good places to overtake and potentially stay in touch with the next car in front. So that's an upgrade that I would love to get on the car. There was 2 other upgrades, I can't remember what it was, but we will find out in the next episode. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you absolutely love this race. Subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more F1 2021 content. The new series will be out in the next, after the next episode of Career Mode also. And don't worry, Breaking Point will be back. I can promise you that Breaking Point will be back. But anyway, that's enough for me today. Until the next one, guys, I'll catch you next time.